Okay, so here's a video on how I achieved the second learning outcome the second learning goal of the second learning outcome, which the goal is students will reflect on the critical issues involved and different approaches taken in interpreting the biblical themes of covenant and Messiah found in Old and New Testaments, with the goal of becoming methodologically self-aware. So through my Messianic identity paper, I describe how different gospels viewed Jesus' self-identity and how they all circle back to the communalized view of the Messiah. And I also describe how important the communalized view is to one's understanding of Jesus' teachings and how it puts people in the T relationship rather than the triangle. And then here's a quote from my paper where I talk about that. A communalized Messiah does not only act and exist and serve for the people, but also calls the people to act for each other. In this way, to be communalized is to invite everyone into a special relationship with God through the upside down T model. This idea is illustrated in John 15:5. I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. In this passage of Jesus speaking to his disciples, he clearly invites them into relationship with God and each other. He offers himself as a bridge between the people and relationship with God. So in this passage of my paper, I explain how Jesus viewed himself as communalized and how that can lead to thriving in relationships between God and people. And this pertains to critical issues involved in different approaches in interpreting the Bible because of the different ways that people tend to see Jesus' self-identity and how that can affect people's view of each other and how their relationship with God should be. Like, for instance, based on the genealogy of Matthew, people tend to see Jesus as the ideal royal Messiah because the genealogy traces Joseph's genealogy all the way back to David's, which it would seem fulfills the ideas of the royal Messiah, but I, in my paper, in my analysis, show how this is not the case, and Matthew's message is a rejection of the ideal royal expectation. Matthew opens, this is the quote from the paper. Matthew opens by providing a genealogy of Jesus. This genealogy includes women and people who are not from Israel, such as Rahab, who was Canaanite, and Ruth, who was Moabite. This shows that the covenant and God's relationship with people extends to all nations and peoples. This genealogy also ends with Joseph, who is not Jesus' actual father. This shows that Jesus is not a descendant of David and flips the idea of the ideal royal Messiah. So I show here how Matthew's gospel portrays Jesus' lineage to include all people and to also undo the royal expectation. And in these ways, I reflected on the different issues regarding the interpretations of the Bible.